the art, is the proof of the existence of an artist. The phenomenon that we fall down proves gravity. The spectacle that we have rose back to life is the proof that we will survive, and hope is what tells us time and again, meet you on the other side. Hello everyone and welcome to the Routine Smile, an effort aimed at exploring your options to smile through the dimensions of challenges. And I'm Anshu Jain, your host for this segment. We all humans are empowered by willingness, and one such embodiment of willingness is joining us today. A renowned ENT specialist, a head and neck surgeon, a businessman and business chain trendsetter based in Qatar with at least 40 years of rich professional and business experience and network. The best outgoing student from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, and has won the award from the Prime Minister of India in the year 1978. He has been bestowed with the highest civilian award of knighthood of St. Gregory the Great by Head of the State of Vatican. The first doctor to be given a specialty solo clinic by the state of Qatar in 1990. ENT surgeon to the ruling members of the royal family and diplomats of Qatar, with a heavyweight record of unlimited level of charity and philanthropy, including founder of many charitable trusts like Sharon Care Foundation, KC Vargas Memorial Foundation, Serve People Foundation, and patron of Shanti Bhavan Palliative Hospital, Kerala, the first of its own kind hospital known as No Bill Hospital, where the treatment and medicines are absolutely free. And currently, Dr. Thomas leads a COVID-19 community group under Embassy of India for medical assistance. Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas, for joining us today. I'm pretty sure this conversation is going to benefit many of those who are struggling due to the testing times. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the welcome. Nice to meet you.
Same here, sir. Well, we are pretty much aware of the fact that you own more than dozens of businesses. That means at least dozen business along with partners that you chair presently. So what is the reason behind being the serial business developer beyond profiteering? Or has there any social cause being involved here?
Well, I would say it's a mix of both. Well, I had definite plans for my life from the very beginning. So I wanted to be in the private sector where the growth is, sky is the limit. So I chose to concentrate on my profession, which I consider very dearly, and tend to develop healthcare services. So what we did is to develop a major 300-bed multi-specialty, super specialty hospital in Kochi. And that is has got a lot of most modern treatment facilities like transplants, implants, cardiothoracic teams, cosmetic surgery and everything. And it has grown up very well, serving the humanity. That's one area. And also simultaneously, I developed a practice here, in the ENT practice, solo practice here, which is benefiting, I hopefully feel that it is benefiting the society here. Also, we have a plan to develop a medical tourism city in Kochi, and we have done the basic work for that one. Probably after this is over, we would venture into that one, which is not just a treating hospital, but it will have a research center where our basic plant medicines can be converted into pharma products. It will have an educational hub where we are going to train all the doctors in the region, Southeast Asia, to modern techniques of surgery, patient care through simulation centers. Actually, you're actually using a simulation center to teach them how to do a surgery. They don't have to really touch a patient and do, but they can do through a simulation center and learn this surgery. And third one is the major hub for a medical conference from the world. Actually, we want to make Kochi a medical major center for that one, which will bring in a lot of researchers in the field, and we may be able to make use of their knowledge in our center to develop further.
Oh, that's indeed wonderful. This plan looks really vast and massive. When we say that, we do have such a massive plan in place, I'm pretty sure a lot of employees, a lot of people must be involved here. So tentatively, how many employees, including all your ventures?
directly employed 1,200 people, and then how many people are benefited indirectly from that one. A lot of families are indebted to them, those employees. So we take care of them. They're all happy people. So that is the most important. That's our strength, I would say. We have other ventures other than medical, and the next major venture we have is in the education, actually. Mm-hmm. So education is a dream of mine and my family and my daughter. Mm-hmm. And we have ventured into a K-12 school here in Qatar called Birla Public School with my friends, few of my friends. Mm-hmm. And then I could very proudly say we stand #1 for the last 10 years, ever since our children started going to the board exam, and still we are maintaining it. Of course, it's a struggle to maintain the #1 position, as you know. It keep on innovating, actually. And the school is the first one which has brought in the TED Talk in Gulf and the tinkering lab with the artificial intelligence and everything. We are the first one to bring it into Gulf, this one. Also, I can say that probably we are the first school to have started the virtual education ever since we had this COVID infection problems. We are ready on 12th of March and we launched on 15th of March. Right. So we are a very innovative school. My other business are just happened because of my good partners, I would say. Somebody was good in roadwork, somebody was good in auto parts, somebody, so they wanted a good synergy and combination, and all those business happened in this one. But let me say, as a business group, we have contributed a lot to our social responsibility as a corporate company. Mm-hmm. That is what you said. So all the charity homes which he created definitely benefited out of that. Through that, a lot of people got benefited.
Exactly. This was the main point that I was wanting to know from you, because when there are a lot of people involved, you are giving employment to a lot of people. That is #1. #2, at the same time, what is most important, that some way it should be benefiting the society as well. So when we talk about education currently, looking at the current scenario, how is this impacting the complete background of education? People are not very secure, the parents are not very secure about these studies, the virtual studies, or is virtual study really benefiting?
I think this particular scenario of COVID infection has affected the life of everyone in every way, not only in education, I would say, even in healthcare, even in education, even in running a corporate company. The culture is changing. It has already changed, I would say. And when we are planning for a second project of building another school project, the young minds in our board, my daughter Maria, she said, I don't think it's a good idea to build any more new buildings for schools. Why? It's told by 5 years back. I said, I think an era of virtual schools will emerge at some point of time. It may take 5-10 years maybe, but it's going to come. So it is better for us to invest on that line than investing on buildings, actually. We did not go ahead with that project, I would say, frankly. And we are happy that we did not go ahead today. Because as we said, then we have challenges, actually. What about labs? At those times, there were no virtual labs. But today, this month, they are virtual labs now. So what children needs is a sports center, an auditorium and an art center to interact their peers and develop that part of their life. The rest would be all virtual education. So that's what we are for tomorrow, actually.
I'm really amazed with this idea, but one question that is arising at the moment is, Dr. Thomas, if we focus on the virtual education, don't you think that it is going to be benefiting just one segment of the society? I'm not just talking about Qatar at the moment, I'm looking at it at a global perspective. Just take it the example of India. There are many people who do not have internet facilities. There are many people who cannot access to all those what fortunately we are blessed with. So what about those? If we consider the virtual education system, then where are these people going to?
Well, the government of India and the corporates of India as a social responsibility will come forward, I'm sure, when the education pattern changes. Because India IT network is immense, I would say. And we have such an industry that is very well established. It can take off. All these things will become a reality soon. We think today is impossible, but tomorrow it's a possibility, let me tell you that. So I'm sure with the knowledge we have and with the young 300 million population, educated population we have in India, it is a doable thing. That's what I feel.
Right. That's very true. If the proper measures are taken, nothing is impossible. It's just that people have to take action at the right time. Correct. Dr. Thomas, if you remember, the last recession that hit hard was between December 2007 and June 2009, when the global GDP declined to almost minus 5.1%, and many millions lost their job. Keeping such unexpected scenarios in mind, what futuristic, realistic ideas or plans, security measures that you would suggest or you are taking in particular for your organization?
I would say not only for my organization, all the organizations in the world should look into that very, very closely. Mm-hmm. As you know, in the last 100 years, we had 5 major recessions or depressions. Mm-hmm. So the major great recession was in 2007 to 2009, as you said, mm-hmm. when all the share markets crashed, stock exchanges got closed, the banks were closed, and we went through a bad time. But we recovered because of a prompt action by the world leaders at that time. If you look at the Great Depression that we had actually, that time the world really went into poverty because the unemployment rate rose to almost 25%. And there was real poverty in the world. So the first challenge the government had was to feed the people. People were standing on line and getting milk and bread in US. We should not get into that situation. The immediate attention of everybody, including the companies, including their employees, families, everybody is to take care of your own food requirement. So that's one point you should keep in mind. Second thing is to plan your business in the coming next 2 years. We expect that there could be either a great recession or even a mother of all depressions. Exactly. Because the coronavirus is not under control. We locked down the world to control this one. And it is only a limited control. We have to depend upon a vaccine, which is being under experiments now. Almost 800 companies in the world are developing this one. And the good news is that Oxford University recently has come up with a vaccine which is being tested on 800 people. Okay. While this same sample, India is making 40 million pieces even without knowing whether this will work. But if it works, we don't want to lose time. So in about 1.5 years to 2 years time, we hope we will be able to lock down this virus. But then by 2 years, it has caused damage in the economic field of the world. We should be ready for that. So we have plans for our own companies that in the next few months, we expect at least 25% less business. So we have tailored our business to that level. Maybe in another 1 year time, or 1.5 years time, the business may go down to another 50%. Right. So we have made plans accordingly and find new areas of business to supplement this one. Correct. So that is what we have done now. We have planned and we are ready for that one. Everything is going to be halved, actually, in our spending, in our living style, in our strength. Everything is going to happen that way. So if you are ready for that, I'm sure everybody can tide through this great crisis smoothly. Very true. Dr. Thomas, it is pretty much clear to me that firms are already mentally prepared. They're already coming up with their business plan, wherein they are pretty much clear. Another 1 to 2 years is going to be a phase wherein we can expect minimal profit. But what about these startups, Dr. Thomas? Startups are the firm which run mostly on the basis of fundings. We are already seeing that most of these startups are crashing down. They don't have supplies, they don't have funds, and they're on the verge of shutting down. What advice would you give to such startup companies? You know, there are almost 150 million startups in the world now, and almost 50 million are coming up every year. I'm sure that number may come down now. You see, the advice I would say that we should look for the opportunities at this point of time. Now, today I received a message from my friend, Dr. Ramesh Madhavan. He has developed an app today to take care of the movement of the passengers, movement of the people, to predict where the infections are, how to control your infection rates, how to advise the people where to go for your PCR test and to make sure that they are free, how to advise the governments that which districts are affected, how the movement should be controlled, and how to tell your passengers that it is safe to fly. It also tells the airlines, the airports, everywhere how much their people are exposed to. So this is an opportunity. So this doctors come up with an app today, actually, and it's an opportunity like that. I'm sure if people, if the entrepreneurs look at the opportunities and see that this can be selected, that will work. Also, they should look at the good partners. The important thing is your major investment is in partners first. They are partners of knowledge who can contribute to this one. Second thing is funding, finance. Now there are angel funding, as you know, for this kind of startups actually. But let me tell you my experience. Out of 10 angel funding you do, only one succeeds.
Correct.
That's the rate. That's true. So that they should see very well. They should be very careful in controlling their finance actually. And there is a lot of cyber crimes now. If you are not taking care of cyber security, you can lose all your data to somebody else. So these are the few things one should be careful in making. But there is an opportunity at every time, in every crisis.
Very true, very true. We have emerged, and with faith, confidence, and belief, we can do anything, right? So what I can understand is startups should mostly look for the right business partners at the same time, wherein there is minimal business investment, because we know the conditions of the market when we talk about fundings. At the same time, the partners who are trustworthy, knowledgeable, and prevent themselves from the cyber crimes. I'm pretty sure people would love to hear some words of assurance, because you are somebody who is actually aware of the entire situation. You're working days and nights to make sure that everybody's safe. What is the current situation? And do you see any possibility that we will be meeting on the other side?
Yeah, I am very pessimistic, I would say, in some way about the economic part. But let me tell you, I'm also optimistic. But if you plan our things well, we can go from this pessimism to optimism in a good way. As you know, we have to fight two fronts. Be ready for that. Fight COVID-19 infections in one front and fight your own economic turmoil. If you're ready with a plan, I'm sure we'll be able to go through that. India has got a lot of opportunities in this one. Let me tell you. The first opportunity, as I said, is IT itself. We are all depending upon the IT now, even to communicate, even to develop this one. This industry can be developed further to aid the businesses, even the small businesses, the big businesses, to transact their business using the IT solutions and new technical apps. That is number one. Second thing, as you know, India is the pharmacy of the world.
Right.
We provide the medicines for the whole world. Also, good healthcare personnels all over the world. If you look at US, Europe, UK, Gulf, anywhere, it is the Indian healthcare personnels that they're working now. So it is a big industry that India can develop further and take care of the welfare and the healthcare of the rest of the world. We can go in and take care of their healthcare fully. These are big opportunities there. The third thing is that, as I said, virtual education. Again, we have a great IT team in India. They can develop the virtual education industry, and India can be the hub for this one.
That's indeed wonderful, sir. And we are truly blessed that when we are here in Qatar, we are fortunate that we are being provided with all the facilities, and here the government is taking every possible measure to make sure that we are safe. We are being provided with everything that we require. When we talk about doctors like you, when we talk about government authorities, so government here is taking every possible measure. I guess you would be able to speak about it, about Doha as well, in a much better way.
Exactly, I would say. I think it's a wonderful place to be during a massive epidemic like this, actually. And I would say that our Indian embassy and under the leadership of our Indian ambassador, Mr. Kumaran, has done an extremely good job to control our people's anxiety, their needs, and everything. What he has done is he has created a group called COVID Community Group with the leaders of the community here, and assigned their duties in different ways. The apex body is the Indian Community Benevolent Forum, the ICC, the IBPC, and the ISC are taking care of the needs of the people and the forefront is ICBF, led by Mr. Baburaj and his team. They're doing wonderful food packets. Their water. If somebody has a problem for shelter, they support them for shelter. Everything is provided by them. And also, they have formed a medical team under us, the Indian Doctors Club, under our president, Dr. Joel, and myself. And we are taking care of all the medical needs of the people, right from prescriptions. For anybody who are landed in this country, any visa they are here, be it on a visit visa, be it on a business visa, be it an online visa, they don't have a health card in this country. The government of Qatar has given us that opportunity to work with them, provided us all the connections and facilities to create a temporary hospital card for them and write medication through the doctors of Ahmad Hospital. Also, the people who do not have even a resident permit, they lost their job, or they do not renewed the Qatar ID. For them, we are able to give medical assistance through Qatar Red Crescent Society. They are helping us to take care of them. So if you just have a passport, that's good enough. This country is great, is kind. We must thank them for this.
Indeed, that's indeed so. And we can see all the measures that is being taken by Indian Embassy and the government here in Doha, and it is really very much admirable. And I guess that is the reason that we all are safe here at the moment. So you are the winner of Kanjani ICBF Award. You are the founder member of associations such as the Indian Businessmen and Professional Network, Indian Cultural Center, Indian Medical Association, past president of Indian Community Benevolent Forum, and currently the chairman of the Advisory Council of Indian Community Benevolent Forum. So many shoes that you have stepped into, so many experiences you have had. You have been involved in almost everything which is associated with embassy and Indian community out here. When people would want to know that what is one message that you would want to give to the entire Doha and not just the residents who are from India?
Just one word: compassion. That's all. Compassionate to the other people. You see, I just learned about it, or let me tell you, it gave me a shock of my life, I would say. Not only me, many of my colleagues. We are passing out from the All Institute of Medical Science. It was so customary that the outgoing students are given a farewell by the professors. At the end of the farewell, our professor stood up and asked us two questions. What is the best medicine you have ever learned? Number one. Number two, what is the best quality of a good surgeon? So we all bubbling with knowledge, young, and we a bit arrogant with our knowledge, I would say. We jumped up and said, the first guy said there was a compound called aminoglycosides which could kill all bacteria. This is the best medicine we know. Smiled. He asked the second question. What is the best quality of a good surgeon? So I jumped and started and said, you see, you should have the eyes of an eagle and the speed of a panther when you go to the operation table. Again, smiled, looked, and I said, please sit down. He said, I'm glad that all of you failed here in front of us before you go out to the world. We are a bit shocked. He said, when you look into the eyes of a patient, the patient is not asking medicine. He's asking for compassion. Look inside with compassion. Then everything will come all right.
Wow.
The best quality of a good surgeon is to know when to withdraw your knife and treat him and take him out of his illness. Anybody can go and put a knife. It shook our life, let me tell you that. That's the principle which carried us all these years with us. And if you look at all the religions also, look at every religion. Islam says the most merciful, the most compassionate, 114 times.
Yes.
If you look at the Bible, Pope Francis says, compassion is a word of God. You have to suffer with other people. Then only you have the meaning of your religion. Also, the Bhagavad Gita says, do what you want to do, but without jealousy, without lust, without desire, but with compassion. So this word is everywhere. I think with our compassionate friends in Qatar, we are able to go through this crisis and come out as winning people.
Well, thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a pleasure. And I'm pretty sure this conversation is going to help many such who are facing many challenges at the current moment. We all know that the most important factor that we should be having within ourselves is humanity. because that is what is going to get through this situation. And the lessons that we have learned from this particular session, that to all the entrepreneurs, to all these startups, to all the businessmen, they have to be very well planned, very well equipped, because we are all aware that the coming 1 to 2 years is going to be a bit, I wouldn't use the word dreadful, but yes, it is. But definitely we are going to meet on the other side with the right partners, with the right decisions that we will take. And all we need to do is to have some compassion within ourselves. And yes, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. So people need to have some patience. The authorities, the government, the doctors, the frontline officers, everyone is putting in a lot of effort, and they're trying hard. They're making sure that we all will be safe and sound. We just need to help ourselves and the people around us, and we will get through this. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back very soon again with the second segment with another powerful conversation with one of the most prominent personalities of Doha. Until then, thank you, take care. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.